Hey everybody, how you doing? Yeah, that's the last you'll see of me. Okay, I'm just going to do a short little video here on fly-by-wire throttle oversensitivity. Okay, I've got a 2013 Road King CVO here, and ever since I got it, whenever you hit a little bump or anything, you have that like throttle, like that jerky motion going there. So at first I discovered after I bought the bike, I didn't know when I bought it, it had an aftermarket tuner on it, and I thought that's probably the issue. I didn't like the tuner, I took it out, that'll be another video. But anyway, the oversensitivity continued. So you're going down the road, you're holding it steady, and you hit a little bump and your hand does a little tweak, and it just, you lunge forward, and it's just, I didn't feel it was good for the bike. I didn't have that problem on my 2009 Road King, which had a 96-inch engine, also fly-by-wire, but my Road King didn't have this much end play, and I can't adjust it out. I've got everything all the way over as far as I can go here, and I can't adjust that out. So anyway, I looked online. One guy said that he was using he put a red tacky grease inside there. So he took the handle grip off and put a red tacky grease, solved his problem. I thought that was a good idea. I even priced out the grease. But with all the electronics in here and high temperatures, maybe running through the desert or something, I was afraid that some of that grease might transfer over and just make a mess of everything. So I started thinking of other things I can do. I thought about putting an O-ring in here, which would take up this slack, probably give it just enough friction, but I decided on a simpler method. So first thing you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to loosen this up, okay? Now there's two screws underneath here. There's one there, and the other one, where the heck is it? Oh, up on top. There's another one up on here. That'll loosen this off. And you might just get enough clearance by doing that you can slide your grip off. I wasn't able to, maybe because it's all the wires. I've got cruise control and I've got audio control and stuff like that. So I actually had to loosen this off and this off, but I kept those bolts in, and that allowed me just enough that I could get these apart far enough to slide this off. But before you do that, the first thing you gotta do, okay? Your brake light switch in here is like a micro switch, and it's a weak ass thing. You don't want to break that off. So before you take this stuff apart, squeeze your throttle or your brake, sorry, as far as you can, and you'll notice there's a gap in there. Put something in the gap so that it holds that open, keeps the pressure off the little switch, and that way when you loosen this stuff off, you won't take a chance on breaking that little switch off. That's what I did. Maybe it'll be okay. I'm not willing to take a chance, so that's what I did. Okay, so here's my little trick. I grabbed something that's handy, and that happened to be a little screw out of my toolbox. So I've got that stuck on there, you can see, so the brake is applied, takes the pressure off that micro switch, and now I'm gonna start to loosen everything off. And I already had this apart once, so I know I've got to loosen not only this, which is a screw up there and a screw under there, but I've also, so I'm going to take those screws right out, okay? Put them in a safe spot so you don't kick them somewhere and lose them. These ones here, I'm just going to loosen them until I have enough play that I can move this around enough to slide my grip off. These, by the way, are Torx. This is one's a Torx here. Make sure you wiggle it around so you get just the right size, because they're just like very slightly one size to the other. You almost don't notice it. So try it by hand first. You don't want too much play. Wee little bit of play is okay, and then you know you got the right size. Another little trick I did was I marked it with a magic marker. See, there's a magic marker there, magic marker here. So I can get it basically back into the same spot again when I move it back, so I don't have to mess around with it. I've got it adjusted the way it was before. Okay, here's what we got. So this is, screws are right out of here. Loosened this off just enough, but kept the screws, kept loosening it a little bit, trying to spread these. Had to wiggle this around a little bit to get the hand grip off. And this is my fix. Electrical tape. Now I tried hockey tape first because it's a little bit of a fabric. I thought it would be better resistance, but it was a little bit too thick. I couldn't get the hand grip to slide on. It should slide on fairly easy, okay? But now I can feel there's a little bit of resistance. A little bit of resistance in there. Got to slide on. It's got a little bit of resistance. So now what I'm gonna do is, and I need both hands to do it, I'm gonna put this grip all the way on so it engages the fly-by-wire, and then I'm gonna twist it, let it go, and make sure that the spring in the fly-by-wire still sends it back up to idle position. Okay, let's try her. Okay, so I've got it slid on. This is still all loose, but the hand grip's all the way on. So it's engaging the fly-by-wire. Now, there's very little play in this when you try to wiggle it back and forth like that. Very little play now. There's a wee little bit, which is good. You've always got a fly-by-wire. There's a little bit of play this way in it as well, okay? And it sends it up. Let go of it, it sends it all the way back up. You've got that little bit of play, but I can feel when I turn it, there's the resistance there. That's when it's gonna start to actually turn the fly-by-wire in there and turn the mechanism. Make sure I'm at the end. Yeah, right at the end. Awesome. So that's my simple fix for it. You can take that as you will with a grain of salt or whatever, but I wanted to put this on and just let you know. And one last bit of advice. When you're tightening these things up and tightening these, don't over tighten them, okay? Even this one here, it just needs to be like a good snug. That's all it needs to be. And this is not gonna move unless you have an accident, and then this moving will be the least of your worries, okay? Be safe.